I'm Snow, and this is Gas and Go. Let's do it. All right. You know what? That was my first time actually riding in a DeLorean, coming down Cruisin Grand, right?
Awesome, man.
So I love it. All right. Welcome to another episode of Gas and Go with Snow. I'm here with my man, Jeff. Jeff, first of all,
man.
Hey, thanks, man. Dude, when you told me you were going to bring the DeLorean out, I was like, oh, I got to get a ride in that thing. And it just worked out. We're at the stoplight, and to show you where to park, so I jump in, boom. Now, this is one of the most iconic cars of the 80s. But tell me a little bit about the car. Where did you get it? What made you buy it? How long have you had it? What year is it? Just talk.
I've had a bunch of old cars. I had my last one was the 1955 Buick. Had that for a while. When kids kind of got rid of some of the old cars.
Right.
Been talking about DeLorean forever.
Okay.
Middle of the pandemic, 2020. My wife and I are driving in the car.
Yeah.
Talking about DeLorean again. She goes, why don't you just go buy one? 2 weeks later, I had the car.
It's just like that.
2 weeks
so
later.
Mama gave you the approval and boom.
She said, go for it. I went for it. So we called up a guy I knew in Huntington Beach that runs a DeLorean shop up there. Said, what do you know? What's available? He's like, I got one that's available right now. If you go talk to the owner, you might be able to work out a deal.
Yeah.
Went up there, checked it out, drove it around.
Yeah.
Here it is.
And you're like,
It's been sitting.
Everybody wants to get in there.
Right? It sat for a number of years, so it needed a bunch of work. We put a bunch of work into it. So radiator, alternator, fuel lines, you name it. Did some upgrades to it, put in electric power steering. Converted all the lights to LED.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Done a bunch of fun stuff.
Let's check out the inside.
Yeah.
Let's jump in here. Well, it doesn't look like there's a lot of miles on this because the car, I mean, it's a little cracked, but this thing looks pretty much like it did in, what year is this? 80 what?
81.
81.
1981 is his first year. They made 3 years for DeLoreans. Well, 2 years, and then the last batch in 83 after the bankruptcy, they kind of made another model year.
Right.
And this is number 2947. I'll get the number wrong. There's some like 8,500-ish cars that were made. So this is
really
2947 is this one. Yeah.
Okay. Dude, this is cool.
And she's low mileage. So when I got it, she was about 36,000 miles, and she's 44 right now. So I put a bunch of miles on the last 2 years. Yeah. I drive it.
All right. Well, dude, it just looks cool, man. And it looks like a GM design, right?
It's a mishmash of everything, right? I mean, you got an Italian design body. You got a Peugeot Renault Volvo engine in it. You got a British Lotus chassis. Yeah. And you got American design and engineering. You got stock horns. It's a mishmash.
No way. The horn is on the signal
right here. And it was built in Northern Ireland in the middle of the IRA wars. Yeah. I mean, what could go wrong, right?
Well, it just reminds me of the way it's all light. It reminds me of a Corvette.
Yeah. There you go.
All right. Well, can we see the engine?
Yeah.
Let's check out the engine. All right. I want to see this.
All right. So you got to reach in back here.
Okay.
To pull. Then you pull that guy.
Yeah. Oh, so how do you do that in a one-man operation?
Well, it can get tricky sometimes.
You know, I have never actually looked at the motor in a DeLorean.
This is the PRV motor.
Wow.
So it's fairly stock. We did the basic stuff to keep it nice and safe. Yeah. So the original plastic coolant tank, this is a stainless steel tank, nice and safe.
Right.
And then first thing on a DeLorean, you take care of those old rubber fuel lines. You put in stainless lines, keep it nice and safe. It doesn't light itself on fire.
Dude, the distributor is crazy. Look at this. Yeah, like I said, I've never actually looked under the hood of a DeLorean. And then you still got the original stickers on here?
Original on there, and this is old mechanical fuel injection in this thing.
Mechanical fuel injection from 1981. All right. And then, so I see you still got AC. And, man, there's a lot of accessories on this thing.
It's not too bad, yeah. AC works. She runs cold. I haven't had to deal with anything like that. Like I said, we did the alternator not too long ago.
Yeah.
It's been pretty easy, actually. Everyone always like, oh, they're a piece of junk. They don't run well. This thing's been super solid. Parts are super easy to get.
Really?
Super easy.
See, I would have thought they would be hard to source because there's, a 3-year run and there's not many of them out there.
When the company went bankrupt after everything went bad, they were gearing up to make a whole lot of cars. So Ireland was packed full of parts.
Yeah.
All those parts have made their way back to the U.S. They sit in a giant warehouse in Texas.
And just waiting for somebody like you to place an order.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dude, all right. And then the stainless body, dude, this is classic, man. Well, this
stainless
thing
body
was
on the fiberglass tub.
Yeah.
So this is all the fiberglass the actual body right there.
Yep. Designed by the father of the American muscle car, John DeLorean.
That's it. That's it. Gotta love him.
All right. Well, hey, you know what? We'd be remiss if we didn't talk about these doors. Look at that. Owning the car. You said, you know, it was like you thought it was a bigger car than it is. Any other surprises that the car gave you?
Well, one of the crazy thing was when we bought it, I had no idea that this was a feature in the car until I accidentally hit the button on the remote one day. It's got remote door poppers on it.
Ah, that's too much. See, I'm telling you, John DeLorean, the man was a genius.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
I love it.
Now, let me ask you something. When you're driving, how's visibility, though? Because it seems like this is an awfully big window, but with the motor behind you, I would think
not too bad, and the front is easy. It's a good visibility there.
Yeah.
The back, you gotta watch and look for it, but it's not bad. It's a small car. I think for me, when I got it, the biggest surprise is how small the car is.
Yeah.
In the head, you think they're big, right? It's actually not that big of a car.
Okay. Well, hey, you know what? Thanks for the ride, and thanks for talking to me, man. I appreciate it, man. Hey, we'll see you guys next time on Gas and Go with Snow.